Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Career Discovery Series 2022, where university undergraduates like you and I can learn things about both professional and personal experiences that our speakers have gone through, their successes in their respective fields, and their views on the topics that they are about to deliver. My name is Ku Fong, and I'll be serving as the moderator for today's session. Before we officially kickstart the session, I would like to remind all participants that you are required to record your attendance through the link that has been sent in the chat box. Thank you so much in advance. Now, without further ado, let us proceed to the second out of 5 sessions in this series, landing your first tech job and working remotely without a degree in tech. The highlights of our session today include: why is the current system broken? What can we do to fix it? And why are we here? Why are we doing this now? And why now? Benefits of involving yourself in a career about technology, how can you avoid to be left out, and as well as time to be part of the movement, and so much more. Before we start, let me briefly introduce our honored guest speaker for today. He is a first-class graduate from Lancaster University, England, specialized in both accounting and also finance. He is highly intrigued with the world of tech startups, and this has led him to take the plunge into the world of tech startups by learning software development by his own. Shortly after, he co-founded Hacker Collective, which is a hybrid tech startup builder that co-founds disruptive tech with dynamic entrepreneurs. Currently, he is actively running Sigma School, and he is on a mission to redefine the educational system to bridge the skill gaps between employers as well as the employees. With such an astounding background, I am certain that all of us cannot wait to hear more from him today. I am pleased to welcome Mr. Derek E.
Hey guys, so I guess this is where I take over, right? Thanks for coming in on a very sweet Sunday afternoon. Just give me a second so I can share my screen right now. Okay, you guys got my screen? You see it? My presentation?
Yeah, we can see. So there.
Yes, can see.
Cool. So hey, thanks guys. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I plan to redefine the way education system is done and how all of you, each and every one of you here, can take part in it and make use of it as well, right? So I'm super excited that you guys have made it here, because in this section I'm going to be revealing to you guys what the techniques and the strategies that have generated me, my team, my community members, and a good number of my students having success in landing jobs, freelancing, or building scalable tech products. But before I proceed with that, can I see a show of hands, maybe through the Zoom hand thing, or for those of you who have your camera on, how many of you are here because you want to get a job, start freelancing or working from home, working remotely, that kind of things? Okay, cool. And how many of you here are more on the business side of things? You want to learn technology to maybe start your own agency or build a product that many people can use, and you can sell that product and just let it scale on its own. Cool. So I guess we have a pretty good mix of both parties, which is good because the world needs both developers and business people to run. But yeah, let me just move on to the next slide. Yeah, that's it. So this is my topic for today: landing your first job in tech and start working remotely without going to universities or boot camps. I know that most of you here are university students, but don't worry, this will apply to you guys as well, right? So at the end of this session, you will learn a couple of things. But before I go into that, the first thing I want to do right now is to just quickly acknowledge all of you for being here. I want to thank all of you for joining this session. And I know you took out your time out of your busy schedules to be here. You guys probably have assignments to do. You guys are probably graduating. You guys are probably, there's a million other things that you can be doing right now. So thank you for coming here, and I will do everything that I can to make it worth your time. And you can feel free to ask me any questions you have through Zoom, and or also maybe you can do a Q&A later on, right? So here is what I want to deliver, right? Here's my promise to you guys. There's a couple of things that you can expect from today's session, okay? And you're going to discover a few things. Number one, you're going to learn how you can step by step go from zero to job ready and double your learning speed, or half the duration of, for example, when I say half the duration, it means, let's say a uni degree is 4 years. How can you halve that by just focusing on what truly matters instead of going everywhere. Number two, you're also going to learn and get a proven template to land jobs and projects if you haven't done it before. And finally, you're going to discover the beauty of software development, the beauty of tech, and understand why it's important, understand why it's super crucial in today's world. And also, I'm going to cover more about it, about how you can get involved as well, right? So I'm going to talk about why this is different, right? It's because I'm going to be sharing with you guys strategies that will take your career to a whole new level. And the reason it's different is because me, myself, and my co-founder, we are practitioners doing it in the real world today. We're actually getting paid doing it, right? I know that there's a lot of people out there teaching code or teaching marketing or gurus and all that stuff. They're not actually practitioners. I know many universities, I'm not going to name universities, right, where the lecturers are not practitioners themselves, right? They probably studied many years, and I'm not saying this to dump on them, or I'm not saying that I'm against them, but what I'm saying is that I believe that they're absolutely good with what they do in terms of research, in terms of theory, in terms of exploring deep technologies. That's all very good, but oftentimes when it comes to training up someone for the job, right, for getting a job, having those theoretical skill sets may not be what you need. Okay, and all I'm saying is that it's good having having good theory, having good understanding of how things work theoretically, but that's not going to land you 90% of the jobs and not going to make you most of the money out there in the market today, right? And move on to my next slide. Yep, that's what I mentioned. So it's not theory, it's stuff that I do day to day in my business as a direct result of working with people, getting paid by clients, my startup partners, and my students as well, right? So we work on actual real world projects. What I want to share with you here is the strategies that I have used and why they are unique and they're different, and they are a direct result of me building and bootstrapping and winning multiple government grants or winning multiple projects in a broad array of fields, right? So what I'm trying to say is understanding technology allows you to integrate and complement any field that you're in. So some of you here might be from engineering, some of you here might be from finance, accounting, law, maybe some of you here are flipping sneakers in the streetwear industry. Some of you are into logistics. My point is, it's safe to say that, I've done it, okay? I have implemented my skill sets across a broad array of industries, and I believe that you guys can too if you guys put in time to really understand how technology works. So yeah, just a quick run through. These are some of the hiring partners that we have or people that we've worked with in the past. And the list, there's a lot more, but yeah, that you can just take a quick look currently. So my goal for today's session is to show you that the unique way to exponentially grow your income or diversify your income streams is through mastering software development. And also the best way to master software development is by understanding what the proven way is to how to get started and how to do it, right? So who is this session for? It's very simple, right? It's if you want to get a job in tech, if you start freelancing in tech, or if you want to build your own tech startup. Maybe you could be someone who is unemployed because you spent 4 years in a degree only to realize that you're not interested in the field, which is very common, right? Some of you may be graduating very soon. And oftentimes when we're 18 years old, we don't know what we really want in life. So this could be for you. Maybe if you have a job and it requires you to physically be present in a workspace, this is for you because tech skills will allow you to, of course, detach yourself from a physical location and work remotely, which will unlock endless opportunities for you in Malaysia and abroad, right? In US and all that. And also if if you want to just learn up and upskill yourself and not become a software developer, but rather use technology to complement your current degree, right? This is for you as well, right? So all I can say is at the end of the day, technology is for anyone who has the keen interest in it. And I can say that there's no success guarantee in the world of technology, but all I can say is if you try and you fail, the worst thing that can happen is you now unlocked a skill set that you can get paid for, right? So there's nothing really to lose over here. All right, so I'm gonna move on to, okay, cool. I'm just gonna do a quick introduction about myself, okay, before moving forward to the details in terms of my sharing today, right? So before I go any further, hi, thanks for having me. My name is Derek, and just to give you guys a brief idea on who I am and what I've been doing so I can be completely transparent with you guys without hiding anything, and so that you guys will know at least, who I am and what's my background. So to be completely honest with you guys, I am relatively new to the scene, right? I'm not someone, I'm still pretty young. I just graduated a few years ago. I was just like you guys, right? I'm not someone with 10, 20 years of experience in the industry, right? well, I'm not super new as well, like 1 or 2 months new, right? I've been around for 3 years and I've been growing a lot, landing projects everywhere, and I've been learning a lot. And I've been getting a lot of very good feedback, very good reviews, and interesting questions that people ask me all the time. Very common set of questions that I'm going to address through this session as well, right? And it's all these things add up, which led me on to doing what I am doing today. And I have very big plans moving forward. I came from a background in finance, and I have been working and actively exploring the venture capital industry for a while in UK and in Malaysia. And for those of you who don't know what VC is, venture capital, it's simple. Just think of startups today. Imagine yourself as a founder. You have a cool business idea, but you don't have the money to build it, or you don't have the money to hire your marketing team, your business development team, your design team, your tech team, your customer service team. So much money. You need all this money, right? You can go to banks because all you have is an idea and you don't have anything else, and banks usually need collateral from you, right? So who do you go to, right? Drop in the comments too. I mean, if you want to start an idea, right, who do you go to, right? Let me know your thoughts. Anyone? Actually, I can't see anyone writing anything, so somehow I can't see the comments. But yeah, just feel free to drop your comments. But this is a question I ask people all the time, and it's very common. People would say things like, "I'm going to go to my uncle. I'm going to go to the loan shark, right? I'm going to go to my friend's father," that kind of thing, right? But the point is, not everyone has an uncle who's very rich and can invest, right? And not everyone has access to loan sharks, and don't go to loan sharks. No one, you don't want to go to loan sharks, right? So people go to VCs, venture capitalists, or angel investors who invest in a ridiculously early stage startup in return that, with the hope and expectation that someday you become, big, and they get to 10 times or 100 times their investments in you. So that's it, right? So coming from a background in finance, I always thought I wanted to be on the finance and the investment side of things. But over time, just like a lot of you here, I did a degree without thinking much. Over time, I realized that I wanted to be more on the business side, and I've always been very interested in business. So one fine day, when I was working in my desk job as an analyst, I asked myself, what is it that I really wanted in life? Is it crunching numbers, right? All day for my bosses, right? Is it doing research on companies? Is it, doing the whole VC shebang, right? No, I wanted to build a business. Then I asked myself, what is one skill set that allows me to build and scale to impact millions of lives, or even billions of lives? Think of Facebook and Airbnb and Netflix, right? It was simple. Technology is the only thing that allows me to do that. Just think about it, right? All these Facebooks and all these website builders, Shopify, WordPress, all these things, marketing tools, even Zoom that you guys are using right now. Everything is backed by technology, and I can guarantee anything scalable, you need technology. So long story short, throughout my journey in this, I have to, I'm a self-taught enthusiast. I teach myself literally almost everything, and I want to show the world that you guys don't need to pay expensive boot camps or universities. You just need to be able to learn up yourself. Once you unlock the skill set to do your own research and learn stuff on yourself, right? You will be able to do a lot of things. And for me, I didn't go for any courses. All I did was really learning on myself. I learned skills like marketing, to technology, to design, growth hacking, to grow my own startups. I learned all this, and I'm very happy to now have multiple early stage startups that I'm working with, multiple 6 to 7 figure projects that I've been working in the past. And really, this is just the beginning. I have a lot of plans, and I know for a fact that my plans won't come to fruition without people like you guys, the young blood. And that's why I'm doing this sharing session as well, just to get to know more of you guys and see how we can collaborate in the near future, right? So let me move on. So here's the thing, right? Here's what people don't know. Because they don't see it. What many people don't know is that I was raised in a very traditional, average Malaysian household where I was taught to just study hard and work hard, and this really came from my parents. So what happened, since I was young, was I studied very hard, and I didn't, I was pretty much an autopilot. Study hard, get straight A's, did a degree in finance, and I didn't even know what I wanted. But long story short, I didn't know what I wanted, and I know for a fact that a lot of people here don't know what you wanted when you chose your degree, right? Your parents or my parents probably took up loans, hundreds to 200,000 K loans to send me to uni and study 4 years of my life where I could have been making money somewhere. So I feel like what I'm trying to say is, getting to where I am today, it's not about what a university can provide you, but it's really more of a mindset that you need to have over time to essentially generate some results. Okay, what I'm saying is, okay, long story short, if I can do it, you can too, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so I'm gonna skip. I usually for my sharing sessions, I like to go go into more details in terms of because I feel like sharing pointers like this is going to be very boring. So what I like to do is I like to share, like I did just now, sharing my story, sharing the why behind why I do things, and just letting you know the context behind how I think. But I think for today's session, since we don't have too much time, I'm going to skip straight into the points. And if any one of you is more interested, you guys can obviously get in touch with me later on so we can connect and get to know better, right? So the 3 key points that I want to talk about today is, I have a lot to share, but I'm going to summarize them into 3 key points. How can you scale with technology, right? Why technology is the most important skill set, the most lucrative skill set that you can have in the world today. And you think about it, who else has the ability to just build anything they want with just their hands and laptop and maybe internet, right? And point number 2, I'm going to talk about roadmap cloning, how anyone can be a software developer too, as long as they put in the time, right? Even if you have no experience or you have 0 talent, all right? And finally, one thing I want to share, you guys don't know if it's relevant for this crowd, but I'm just going to share as well, is why now, how you can close without begging people. I know a lot of people in agencies, struggling, even though they're good coders, but they're struggling to close projects. So I'm going to share as well why it's now the best time to land projects, especially during a pandemic. Of course, the pandemic is ending now, but you get the point. So number 1, right, scaling with technology. So to convey this, I want to share a short story with you guys. So this image that you see over here is a few years ago, I think 3 to 4 years ago, when I was doing my internship. And here you can see some of the very, very, very smart people that I met in my journey. So this was taken right before a VC networking event, a pitching event where founders came to pitch their ideas, and investors evaluated these ideas to see if there was any interesting ideas that they could invest in. So I was preparing for it, and when I was running this event, I just kind of volunteered as the receptionist boy, and I was what I did was this was the event that really opened my eyes, because I met a lot of very interesting people. I met entrepreneurs who built their startup. And just was literally just he spent some time and some money to build it up, and literally he left his product there, and one fine day he realized he was making 5,000 ringgit, $500 per month passively. He just left it there and it just happened, right? Because he built the software for it, and I guess he had some marketing for it. And I met another guy also who was completely self-taught, and he was in his mid-20s and he was making 20 to 30K per year. How? Because he was landing jobs in the US, and it's very doable. I've done it. I know many people have done it now, but back then it was a big realization for me, right? For me, I really admired how they had it going. So throughout the event, I remember as the receptionist boy, I had to give up a tag to everyone, right? When they came in, I have to filter them to see if are they a tech person, are they an investor, or are they a business person. So I think investor had a yellow tag, entrepreneurs had a green tag, and tech people had a blue tag, something like that, right? But the point is, just by giving those tags, and it was so obvious that in that room itself, the basic laws of demand and supply told me that there is a market opportunity. Why? Because I saw this. Everyone was literally surrounding the tech guy to recruit them as their CTOs. And the tech guy was just there picking ideas that they wanted to work on. So the pitch was this. Usually they go to the tech guy and say, hey, tech guys are usually very high in demand, so they get paid very good salary. So if you want to poach a tech guy, you need to either give him a very big pitch, a good dream to sell him to join your startup, or what happens is you can pay them a base salary and give them some equity to build stuff for you. So in that day itself, I really saw how, there was I think the ratio was 7 to 8 business guys to 1 tech guy. Everyone was just pitching to them. And that was the instance that really changed my life and made me realize that I need to get into tech because I need to leverage on this superpower. And I'm happy to say today, I'm working on 6, 7, 8 projects currently, helping them with growth and also with technology. And it's very, very doable because the world is just lacking developers today. That's a crazy shortage of good developers. And you guys should also jump on this bandwagon. But yeah, so this is really what got me into it. And in fact, this is what I'm doing today. I regardless of the industry, accounting and finance, HR, streetwear, F&B, the list goes on. Literally every single industry today needs technology, and yeah. I'm gonna move on. So there are multiple ways to monetize, right? Just to quickly touch on this. Personally, these are some of the ways I discuss about this topic a lot with my students and also with my community, right? I'm always thinking about learning, right? For myself, I was just locking myself in my room back in the days, learning to code. I learned it on my own, right? And the hard part that I faced was not being able to monetize. So basically being unemployed completely for 7 to 8 months. So what happened was I was exploring every angle that I could monetize. For 7 to 8 months, I couldn't monetize. I wasn't confident. I gave up multiple times because coding was just so difficult, right? But one realization that I had was the first thing that happened was one of my computer science friends came to me because he applied to a job and he knew I was coding, so he needed my help. He came to me and he gave me, he paid me a small fee, like something like 100 ringgit per hour kind of thing, to teach me how to code, right? And mind you, he's a first class computer science degree honors, and he couldn't code for the hell of it, right? He couldn't do it. So I had to guide him, teach him. And that's when I realized, damn, after 7 months of learning, I'm actually better than this guy. So I got paid for it. And I thought he was an anomaly, right? So, but long story short, it was very tough. I was very lost in life. And this gave me the confidence to then now go out there and reach out to people, which I'm going to share with you guys what I did, right? Reach out to people and understand as well how can I close projects and how can I monetize my skill sets in the shortest amount of time. I realized that, and through my journey, I met a lot of self-taught people just like myself. They learn themselves, they lock themselves in their room and they just learn. I've met a guy who learned to code for 3 years with no income. He just kept learning and learning and learning. This is the loop where we call this the tutorial hell. And I don't want you guys to go into this. And you can very, very easily get into this by just locking yourself in your room. It gets addictive because you keep learning new stuff and it starts getting very fun. So for me, I think the secret to really doing things. And I also met many people who gave up after learning for 3 months or 6 months or 9 months. They just give up because obviously coding is not easy, right? So for me, the secret to really being able to join this is to find ways to monetize very, very fast. And yeah, so to summarize this page, you could monetize from coaching, from consulting people, from freelancing. Obviously, if someone needs a website, just build it up for them. Not a basic website, but a web application. Not going to go through what the differences are in this session, but I can talk to you about this another day. Or obviously getting hired. It's very easy today as a Malaysian to get hired in Singapore or in Australia, and just to leverage on that currency arbitrage. Very, 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 very easy today. And also obviously getting paid in equity. Once you're a tech person, people come to you, like I mentioned just now, they just literally throw equity at you and you choose which ones you want to work on. And finally, building your own product that you can launch, like the one I told you of the guy I met at the event, selling a $5,000 per month product to people in the market, right? And just passive income from there on. So there are many ways to monetize, and yeah, I think this page that's it. And just to quickly run through this, software gives you a higher ticket size compared to any other skill sets. Graphic designers probably make 100 to 3,000. Just think about it. You want to design something, design a logo, design a website. Once you're done, right? Think of UI UX. Once you're done, you build the whole you want to build the next Facebook, right? You ask the designer to draw Facebook, and that's it. His job is done. Right? If you think of marketing as well, you can't really get very high tickets, but once you go to the world of technology, you get to manage. You can close 5 to 6 to 7 figure projects very easily because software, number one, there's a very low supply of good developers, and number two, they're just way bigger, right, in terms of project scope. So yeah, look into tech. Yep, and the best part, right, is all you need is your laptop. That's it. Yep. So that's it for point number one. So point number two, I want to talk about roadmap cloning, right? So one thing I want to talk about is, in terms of technology, these are two things that you need to understand. How do you fundamentally know what's needed in the industry today, right? There's a lot of technologies, Python and Ruby and JavaScript and Java. There's so many technology stacks today. And I want you guys to take a picture of this or just write it down somewhere, right? Every single time now you go to a website that you feel is impressive or you feel is pretty cool, I want you guys to use something like StackShare or Webalizer, right? Webalizer is a Chrome bookmark that you can use on your Chrome, and you can see literally broken down to you what did they use to build this software, right? And you know for a fact after researching for a while, you will know that it all boils down to the few main technologies, and you can't go wrong with those technologies. Look at job posting by HR, right? On LinkedIn, on Google, on all this. Like don't ask people, right? You ask people what to learn, they'll tell you Python and Java and all this kind of so many things, right? And one thing as self-taught developers is you will get lost in this if you don't have a clear direction. You're gonna get lost. You're gonna end up learning like the guy that I met, learning for 3 years and not going anywhere. You don't want to end up like that. You want to have a laser focus. What's the company you want to go in? Learn up technology you want. Message the HR. Go straight to the company. That's it. And the answers are all right in front of your face, right? All the just literally, right? This is one thing that I learned. I talk to people all the time, right? Tech people or software engineers, and it's very obvious. Just talk to them. Get to know actually get to know what they do in their day-to-day job and really interview and learn, they're more than happy to share. People, one thing you need to know is, people like to talk about themselves. You can tell me about what you do and all that. Like, I can tell you about all this, but maybe you don't care about this, but your people in general are interested to share about themselves. So just reach out, just do it. Reach out to these people. They will tell you what you need to land a job in their company. And one thing you need to know is there's a lot of Malaysians today, especially my community, working in Singapore. And this is how you can benefit from this. I'm going to tell you now, I know so many people today who don't have a uni degree and they're working in a Singaporean company. It's very doable. Just do a quick LinkedIn search, you can find a lot of them. Schedule call them, talk to them, and of course, understand their workflows. So yeah, this is the learning roadmap that I can share with you. It's getting a bit technical here, so I'm not going to involve too long on this page. But long story short, in the world of software today, software is very broad, right? Computer science students, you guys probably end up learning things like big O notation. You guys learn time and space complexity. You guys learn how to optimize your search algorithm, right? All this kind of stuff, they're great, but for the vast majority of jobs out there, someone has a business idea, someone has a product to build, you just build it for them. And it all boils down to two things, front end and back end, right? If you ask me, I would say you could learn all of this in 3 months, but if you ask me realistically, focus on one stack first. So I would always suggest people to choose either front end or back end, double down on it. Don't think about full stack first. If your goal is to get a job, don't think about full stack. Think about just doing front end, and just FYI, front end will be things like the design of your website, the mobile responsiveness of it. How can you plug into APIs, right? Let's say you have Facebook, you add a friend, right? And once you send him a friend request, the button there says friend request is sent, right? So those kind of things, those are things that requires you to plug into API and make API requests. Understand how to do that very, very well, and you have a job for you. And if you can look at this list over here, if you really want to go down to the nitty-gritty details of it, and you want to go like the fastest rocket speed to get a job, right? Forget everything here. Just focus on JavaScript and data structures and algorithms. Just these two things. If you can get very well in this, get good in this, you can get a job. Forget everything else. Once you solve, I know, by the way, I know a lot of computer science people or people out there who has learned everything, but they skip this two, because these two are obviously, this is the fundamentals. Once you learn programming, you learn to think computationally, you learn to solve problems. Literally in the world of programming, if you learn how to solve problems, you can solve any problem. So you don't want to learn tools, you want to learn fundamentals. And what you want to do is you want to focus on JavaScript and this. So if that's your direction, look into this and focus on it, right? And then, yeah, and then that's backend as well. So PostgreSQL is a technology that I found today. My co-founder and I, we researched a lot on in terms of how we can build better and build faster. So if you guys have the time or have the skill sets, look into PostgreSQL. Sorry, let me get off the list. Sorry guys, just going on a very, very fast speed today because I want to cover a lot of things that can add value to you guys. But I'll wrap it up fast, then we can do a Q&A later, right? So look into PostgreSQL because PostgreSQL is the technology that allows you, okay, to speed up back-end development by 3 times, which also means if you know this technology, you literally get to, instead of hiring 3 back-end developers, now a company needs to hire just you, right? And you just think about it, the value add to the employer, right? They're like, oh, you don't have a computer science degree. You don't have you didn't go to a coding bootcamp, but you're able to learn this technology and you're able to save me, the salary of 3 guys. Damn, I'm going to hire you. That's it. They're just going to calculate you based on that. And if you're able to sell your value and say, okay, Mr. Employer, just think about it. One backend developer guy the salary is 5K on average, right? Now you need to hire 3 guys. But if you know this skill set, you're able to literally automate a lot of backend development today. And if you can do that, you can tell him, hey, so if I replace 3 guys, my worth is basically 15K, but if I can, don't need to pay me 15K, just pay me half of that, pay me 8K, right? And he's happily going to pay 8K, right? If you think about it that way. So that's how I think of, increasing my value and my ask as well, right? So yeah, so that's it. I'm not going to go too long on this page because this is a bit technical and maybe some of you here are not here for the technical stuff, but let's move on. So this is also another page. I'm going to skip through it very fast. So you can do it in 150 days, right? I think it's very, very, very doable. So you can take a picture of this or something. yeah, just take a picture of this. And this is a good estimation of how much time you should spend on a particular topic. And yeah, I've broken it down very well. This is the path I took. This is what I would do if I could go back in time, right? Because as I told you, I spent 8 to 9 months spending 12 hours a day coding. If you can dedicate 8 hours a day, definitely you can achieve this as well. Yep. So yeah, I mean, here are just some case studies of our past students. Yicham, Melissa, Kais, all of them came from very normal backgrounds. They didn't go to universities. They don't have a special or privileged upbringing, no talent for coding whatsoever at the beginning. But before they started, they didn't believe in themselves. They didn't know that whether or not they could do it. I still clearly remember each and every one of them during my first call with them. And today, a lot of them are doing coding jobs or doing IT project management job. And I did interviews with all of them, so I can share you a link and watch their stories. But basically, all I'm saying is these are the people that we've trained up, and we have a lot more. But yeah. Yep. Okay. So it doesn't stop here, right? Technology and coding skills are just the starting point. You can then embrace and enhance this skill set to go into any role, from front end to back end to full stack to project management to UI UX to data science to cybersecurity. Literally, learning tech opens up endless opportunities. And I just want you guys to know this, because a lot of people don't know this. They think if I learn technology, I can only get one job. No, that's not true. Once you learn technology, it's like you're on steroids, like Derek on steroids, because now I know technology, right? It applies to any field. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so yeah, that's it for my, oh shit, sorry, one sec. So that's it for my sharing for point number 2, right? I showed you how you can become a developer even without any experience or any talent. Of course, there's a lot more I can share, but this is a very short session, and we'd love to share again in the future. So point number 3, how can you close without begging, and why is now the best time, right? Because I believe that when it comes to technology, coding or software, it is your duty. It's your moral obligation. If you have the skill set that actually you're able to genuinely help people, businesses, or the Malaysian economy, it is your moral obligation to learn how to use it and sell it so that your potential clients or your employers understand what it is, and that understand how they can leverage on your thing. Well, don't mind if I sidetrack a little bit here. The problem that I realize in most of the time in people, I realize in Malaysia or in Southeast Asian countries, right? Most people, I realize, they have been conditioned to see coding as a dirty word, right? They say things like, I don't want to learn coding because it's so difficult. I'm not a tech person. You know what? I'll just hire someone to do it. I'll leave it to a developer. This is not for me, right? This was me once back in the days. And trust me, I've burned a lot of money. I can let you guys know I burned easily 300 to 400K because in the past I tried hiring developers and I just got so frustrated that I decided to set up Sigma School to train up my own students and get them to do the work with me and for me, right? So to me as a tech person, when someone says things like, I don't know about tech, I don't want to learn about tech, I'm just going to pay a developer to do it. When I hear that, that is music to my ears. And trust me, more often than not, everyone says that. And the more people don't want to do something, the more there is opportunity for me to stand out, the more I can monetize. So if you think about it, in advanced countries, foreign countries like US, they are paying developers, entry-level developers, 100K USD per year, just for entry-level companies. For a company like Google and Facebook, it's even crazy, 2 to 300K USD, right? It's a lot of money. I'm not saying that you can make that kind of money in Malaysia, okay? I guess the point I'm trying to make is that if the US, right, which is the world's leading nation in software and tech startups, think about it, all tech startups are in the US, right? If the US is able to build software and they can hire people to build it at such expensive rates, right? How are we going to compete with them if we continue having this mindset about developers? And like, since US is leading the world in most things, I believe it is the trend that it will come to our country very, very soon, right? Currently, Malaysia, we're not there yet, but if you have this skill set, you want to be the first person to be there when the trend comes, right? So the question to ask yourself is, do you want to be part of the trend and the community building this ecosystem, or do you want to just be here when the industry is mature, right? Of course, you want to be here before it matures, because if it matures, then it means there's no more opportunities to make money, right? So yeah, that's it, right? As for the pandemic, right? One thing I know from talking to business owners is this: companies now are, this was obviously, things are getting back to normal now, but the point is, whenever there's a disruption in things, right, companies are putting a pause to their operations. Think of it: gym owners, travel agencies, hair salons, factories, physical store owners, or secondhand car resellers, right? All these companies are all disrupted. the bosses literally, they don't know what to do and they're like, oh, times are tough. But these guys have the money, right? They don't have the ideas, but they know that this is time to invest in something else. In fact, this is how I close a lot of my projects. I go to people who are disrupted. I give them ideas. I build the software for them to help them out. And, this is the time for them to explore. Right. In a normal day, maybe they wouldn't explore because they're like, hey, life is good. I'm making a lot of money. I don't need you, right? That's a normal day. But now during a pandemic, it's, more than ever, they need your help. So yeah, I guess I hope that makes sense. We'll move on. So a pandemic, what does that mean? That means that, obviously, for employers, the bosses want to diversify and explore new ideas. And for employees, employees find it hard to find jobs and they want to upskill themselves. So for you, if you can upskill yourself as a tech person, you're able to monetize on both ends. Let me tell you a quick story as well on how I do that. Right now, what I do is I go to companies and I know right now a lot of people are applying for jobs, right? So a company probably has a list of people applying for jobs. Let's say 100 people applying for software development jobs, which is very normal. Even my company got like 1 in 500 applicants until now. So every company has a list of people who apply and fail to get a job. My pitch to the company is this: give me your data, these people, right? I will upskill them. And once I upskill them, I'm going to match them back to you, and you pay me a matching fee of 3,000 to 4,000 ringgit. They are more than happy to pay you. Why? Because they're struggling to find talents right now, and especially for people in Singapore or UK or Australia, right? You are giving them like a golden mine when you say that you can unlock a pool of tech talents at Malaysian rates, or even they're more than happy to pay you 50% more than market rate because currency arbitrage. So that's what I do, and I believe there's a big opportunity in this. So do look out for it as well. So okay, here I took the time. Obviously, I don't really need this, but I took the time to do a brief research on software jobs out there, and this is the one. I took the time to explore the software jobs out there. You can take a look at here. This is just LinkedIn. Forget JobStreet and Indeed and everything else. This is just LinkedIn. You just do a quick search and you can see that there are so damn many jobs. In Malaysia, yeah, see, as I mentioned, Malaysia is a bit slow, 1K, right? But you look at Southeast Asia, look at APAC, so many. Like you think of Hong Kong or you think of Singapore, their entry-level software engineering jobs are like 3.5 to 4K USD, right? So just need to learn how to be able to close these jobs. And, I believe you can do it because look at this page over here. Everyone is struggling to hire. Okay. This is just to let you guys know the demand for it. And these are two Malaysian companies who just said, Bijak, I use their services, pretty cool company. AIA as well, they need to hire 500 plus tech talents in Malaysia. And this one, they need to hire 1.5K Malaysian talents. As the world progresses, we will start to realize that we need more tech people. And, I can't stress this enough. This is why I'm doing this session today as well, to inspire and hopefully get to attract some of you to join the tech industry, even if you're from accounting, even if you're from finance, even if you're from wherever you're from. I believe the world needs more tech people, and I need more tech people. I'm getting so many projects right now. I can't hire people. Sigma School, my school, is not even training enough people. That's why I need to get more people working with me as well, right? So let me move on. Some things that you need before closing deals. This is one thing. This is not so much for the people who are looking for jobs, but really more for people who are looking to close projects or partnerships, right? You need a flow. You need a CRM, a customer relationship management tool that helps you track your sales process, because you can do cold reach outs every day, but it's going to be very, very, very messy. So you need a system to track, a funnel to automate that, right? You need an email blurb. You need to be able to tell, you know what, this is a very long topic. I'm not going to go into this details today. I don't have the time for that, but these are some things. You do take a picture of this and read up on each and everything over here, right? Just Google it. You will be able to find information on that. You will need all these tools and all these base materials for you to be able to close projects in the market today. And these are all things that I already have in place. And my team just uses it for me. And obviously you need a personal website as well. Okay, so to be able to show how you can add value to the company. Okay, so long story short, okay, you will never be ready. Okay, you are never going to be ready, because as as a learner, you will always feel like I'm not good enough, or you will feel like I don't have a degree in tech. Can I really do it? I would say just do it. I did a lot of interviews with people who has done it. I've done it, right? Basically, even if a job says you need 2 years of experience, even if a job says you need React or Vue or whatever technology stack, right, and you don't know it, just do it, show them that you're willing to learn, and you will get it. It's just a numbers game, right? Think about it. If you apply to one company, yeah, maybe you won't get it. Apply to 10 companies, maybe you won't get it. Apply for 100 companies. I'm willing to bet after applying for 100 companies, you will be able to get at least one, right? So it's a numbers game, and a lot of people just don't try enough, right? So I think I'm coming to an end. Okay, that's it for my point number 3. So yeah, this is a summary. These are just a few key points that I've shared today in terms of scaling and technology, roadmap cloning, and closing the bag without bagging. I feel like today's sharing, I might have squeezed too much inside, right? I don't want to confuse anyone further. So more than happy to connect with you guys, and if you guys have any questions, you can ask me. So yeah, let me move on. I think I have a few more slides. So that's all. Do you think you can do this, right? I think here's the problem you will face is not a lack of information or support or events or that. It's not. It's the thing that you're lacking here is determination and grit. I've joined a free bootcamp in the past. It was completely for free. There were 40 people, and do you know how many people graduated at the end of it? There was only 4 of us who graduated, so everyone else dropped out. So I can say that it's doable. It's just a matter of time and whether you can persevere until the end. And I believe that I have the solution for this. So for me, if I get your permission to share, I actually have a fully fledged course that teaches people how to do this. Where we would deconstruct the entire journey layer by layer through your journey with us. So hope you guys don't mind. I'm just going to quickly run you guys through what that is. Okay. So I'm running Sigma School, as you guys know. I'm the founder of Sigma School, which is the #1 peer-to-peer online coding school where we guarantee our students jobs, which means we give 100% of our students their money back if they don't get a job, right? And this is where we show our proven ways of doing things that actually work, whereby at the end of it, we will deconstruct and build several full-stack web applications with you, or even bring your startup ideas to life. Whatever ideas you have in your mind, or you don't have one, is fine, right? We will be working with you to build things like full stack apps like Netflix, like Airbnb, like Spotify. Anything that you have in mind, we can build it out, right? So on top of this rebuilding all this stuff, so imagine this: you go to an employer and you say, "Hey, I don't have a degree, but I'm able to build Netflix from scratch. Do you want to hire me?" I think that they will say yes, right? So we will help you deconstruct some of these things, and we will also help you build whatever ideas you have, and help you reverse engineer how we do things. So who is this for? These are for again, students, marketeers, people who didn't go to university. So basically anyone who wants to understand how you can do it as well. Right, and so here are just some of our team members. My team, that's Ming, my co-founder. We work closely a lot, exploring technologies, and this is Kais and Yichang who work with us. And we have some very, very smart industry mentors as well, helping us run the show and making sure that our students are competent enough to get jobs, right? So if you don't mind, in this slide, I'm just going to quickly share with you what you guys can get, okay? First thing you're going to get is you're going to get the full program, where you learn how to land projects and get a job and sell your digital products. So this program is where we teach you all the skills you need, from front end to back end to UI UX, to project management, to landing jobs or projects. So the way I see it is, even if you get to land a job that paid you $1,000 a month, or land you a small project, I believe you do it once, you do it multiple times, right? So you're able to then scale this up and close multiple projects. And the next thing we're going to do is help you deconstruct multiple full stack applications like Airbnb and Netflix and all that. So this is where we really literally walk you through a few code bases, where I'll deconstruct layer by layer every single line of code, so you get access to the code base, understand it, and you can see what's going on. And the best part is, and the best way of learning, I feel, is to understand what's going on rather than me just teaching you how to code, right? By reverse engineering all the different parts of a production ready application, you have to learn and use it to pitch your future projects as well. And just for some context as well, I'm going to speed through this slide. basically, we have four like coaching sessions every week by our leaders, and also we have priority access to our projects that we're working on, and also lifetime access for you to be able to get support from us, right? So just to quickly share as well, so it's only 1.9K USD today. If you're interested, click on the link over there. And if you for you guys over here, we have a promo now. It's 30% off, so it's 1.3K USD, job or money back, right? So yeah, I think I'm not really here to sell. Just want to let you know as well that we have this going on. So if anyone's interested, feel free to go to the link or just visit us on our website, and you can get started over there. So I think my session's coming to an end. So thank you very much. I dropped you a lot of links here. Do click on them, take a picture or something. I look forward to work with you guys, whether be it on a personal capacity or on a level where you join me in Sigma School. I do want to work with you guys, the young generation, and work something out together. Yes, this is one quote I will leave you guys with: believe you can and you're halfway there. That's it, right? It's not about a lack of information, it's a lack of grit and determination. Just don't give up, and I believe you guys get that. Yes, I bet you guys get that if you don't give up. We can take a group photo, but I think I'll leave this to the team at UMS. Yep. So yes, ask me anything. I'm open to Q&A currently. More than happy to take as many questions as I can as time allows. All right. So yeah, the team. Do you guys want to take over from here?
Alrighty. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Derek, for giving us such new perspective in working remotely and how to get yourself in tech and what are the things that you need to be prepared, well equipped before you jump into the tech world. And I'm sure that some of you and many of you are ready with the questions for our speaker today. So please do not hesitate to raise your hand so that I can cue you to have your doubts cleared and answered. However, you may also send in your question in the chat box, and we will get to see the question. So if anyone is ready with their question, you can just raise your hand and I will cue you for the Q&A session. Okay, we have Jerry, we have questions already in the chat box. Would you like to proceed?
Oh, wait, one sec, sorry. Oh, it's in the chat, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, it's in the Zoom chat.
Okay, I love your contents. Oh, I'm just gonna read out the question. Yeah, I'll just answer it on the fly. I love your content, as well as mentioned, Mr. Derek. We'll need a portfolio to show what we can do at this current point. I'm not sure how to really showcase my skills. Any advice for that? Should I build my own website for the portfolio? Very good question, Ho. I would say if you have coding skills, do it. Let me show you something right now, right? This is gonna hopefully help you guys a little bit. So have you guys heard of Notion? Right? I personally use Notion for my portfolio. So you can take a look. You don't need to code for this. Okay. It's just a very simple website where I connected it to Notion, to dereky.com, and I just show what I do, about me, some personal facts, my principles, what I like. So I get to work. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, just so you know, over time, last time I used to be begging for clients, but over time people come to me and I need to show, who am I as a person so I can choose my clients. So you always want to have a section where you show your personality, right? And then, showing my current focus. I also show you just build this. You don't need to code for this. So yeah, but I definitely think you must have a personal website. Something Notion is good, or you can use, if you know coding, obviously you can code from scratch, but if you don't know how to code, right, let me show you something. If you know basics of coding, right, let me show you something. Just give me 1 second, I have to look for it, but this is going to be good stuff. Just wait. Okay, there's this girl called Brittany Chiang. Okay, all credit goes to her. Let me open this up. Okay, Brittany Chiang, for those of you who are oh, by the way, how many of you here are coders? I mean, do drop me in the chat or do a hand raise. So if any of you here are coders, there is this Brittany Chiang. You can literally open source this, okay, and you can just literally use her code. Click on this. Okay, take a look. I'll just show you how it looks. Okay, this is her personal website. I think she's a software engineer in some company, but yeah, this is her personal site. Okay. And you can literally just take this, and I think it's HTML. You can just change the text and put your stuff on top of it to save time, right? Okay, so this is something that I would say you can do as well, and it's open source, so she is more than happy for you to use it. There's over 4,000 favorites on GitHub already, so a lot of people are using it. And oh, by the way, I forgot. Actually, for my team in Sigma School as well, you can join in. We do have, I think it's free. We have a program where I show you guys how I completely built this page from scratch. Right, I literally built this from scratch with just HTML and CSS without any frameworks. So for those of you with no coding knowledge, you can build this definitely as well. Okay, so I hope I answered your question, Ho. I'll move on to the next one. Hi Derek, by the way, don't call me sir. I'm not that old. But I would be really interested in knowing how much do a tech or web developer pay rate currently in Malaysia. Good question. I can tell you now. Okay, market rates for a computer science graduate, just basic guy, don't really know how to talk or don't really know how to code, just basic, right? Is around 3K. Okay, for that. But if you're able to build stuff, you have some experience. For example, you can build Netflix from scratch. Okay, most people can't do that, but if you can do that, definitely way more than 5-6K. And if you have the ability to sell yourself, you unlock. For me myself, currently I'm working on quite a few projects with US companies and with Singaporean companies. They are paying me in USD. So the moment you see that, right, you think of things like 3K, 3.5K, 4K, 4.5, or 5 or 6K. It's nothing really, because the moment the USD comes in, they pay you 3.5K USD, that's already 10K, more than 10K already, right? So I think the question is not what's the pay rate in Malaysia, but what's the skill you need to get the global pay rate, right? So that's the skill set that I actively, what I do every day is, I talk to hiring partners in UK and Singapore, and they are more than happy to pay me for access to my talents in Malaysia as well. So as much as you want them, they want you as well. So that's a huge gap right now, and I don't know why people are not doing it. Maybe because they don't know, no one is teaching them, but there is a very big gap today in the market, and I hope today, my sharing today can inspire you guys to explore and exploit this gap, right? It's a win-win for you and for the company, all right? Christopher asked, do you recommend working remotely from another country? Definitely, 100%, right? For me, my company, everyone in my company works remotely. We don't make them come to office, because I know back in the days, I left my job in VC because I had to go to the office. I don't want to go to the office. I have to drive 1 hour to go to the office. I have to take the train. I don't want that. It's a waste of time. You can use that time to do anything you want, right? So in my company, we are very flexible, and the world, by the way, is moving in that direction, right? They don't track your time. They don't track where you are. They just say, do your damn job and I will want to pay you more. That's it, right? The world is going that direction. So if you work with a global company, you not only get better pay, you also get better work-life balance. So why wouldn't you want to work remotely, right? So yeah, the question is, do you have the skill sets? And that's what I'm very focused on, helping people find those places. And it's very doable, right? Okay, so any questions? Oh, no more questions. I hope I answered your questions for those 3 of you who asked.
Yeah. Okay. So as the other really participants or our communities, they are typing the question in the chat box. So I personally have one question for you, Mr. Derek. So because currently I'm in the middle of my degree, I'm year 2, sem 2. So the whole degree is 4 years. So in 1.5 to 2 years time, I'll be involving myself in internship, right? So on. So maybe from your personal opinion and personal experience, for fresh grad to start their industrial training, or we so-called internship, would you rather them to start get themselves involved in a startup or the big four? Because for myself, I do e-commerce. So should I get into a startup, like a tech startup, digital marketing startup, or straight away be super ambitious to apply for Shopee, Lazada, Zalora, Grab, and those big four in Malaysia? So what are your opinions on that?
I guess to answer your question, there should be 3 tiers. Okay, tier number 1 will be your Grab, your venture-backed big. In many ways, I would still consider Grab as a scalable startup. They're still the new kid in the block, right? Grab and Shopee and Lazada, these are still there. Okay, then you have your second tier 2 startups, which are smaller startups, that are maybe have less money. Then you have another tier of big companies like Intel and Petronas, and those more traditional companies, right? So I would say, to answer your question, I would say definitely the one that wins is always the venture-backed startups like Grab and all that, because number 1, you get the branding under you. Number 2, you know for a fact that these companies are working with modern technology. I guess there's two things you need to consider. I don't want to give you a hard answer on this, but I want you to consider yourself. There's only two things you should consider when deciding for a job. Can you learn or can you earn? Just these two things. If you can learn, do it for a low pay, it's fine, right? And when you say learn, then you can ask me, right? Learn what, right? What is the right thing to learn, right? Learn technologies. Like I said just now, I showed you a few tools. Learn technologies that will be used in foreign countries. Malaysia, very unfortunately, we're still very stuck in the world of like PHP and like Java and like all the old technologies, right? That foreign countries may be less hiring for. Look into modern tech. Look at Silicon Valley, look at Netflix and the newer startups, not Facebook. Facebook is considered old already, right? Look at the newer startups. What do they use? Then try and replicate that, right? So that's that. Learn or earn, just one of it. Okay, I think there's a. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so Mr. John Chi, hello John Chi. So as you said, we might get 6K or above if we can build things from scratch. But currently the world is full of YouTube tutorial videos and templates. So we do it when we are hired and still get. So at the end of the day, yes, everyone can go in with a Shopee, a Shopee toy clone, right? People can do that, but employers are getting smarter as well. They know I know, right? When people come in and they show me a Lazada template that they probably follow a tutorial. I know. All I'm gonna do is ask him to make one small change, and if he can't change it, I knew he copied it. It's very simple. So what I'm saying is don't copy for the sake of copying, but know how to build it yourself. Deconstruct it and understand line by line what each line does. Then own it, like understand it like it's your hand, right? So that it's the bottom of your hand, so that like when someone asks you to change it, you can change it on the fly. I can tell you, I've caught so many people just literally copying stuff. I ask them to make one small thing and they fail. It's just it's not a very nice scene for them as well, right? So yeah, I hope I answered your question with that, Mr. John. And Lee Hui Qian, hi Derek, is Sigma School open for internships? I'm planning to do an internship this semester break. I'm more than happy to chat. Do apply on our website. You can click on the About Us website and you can apply. Yes, we most certainly are open for internships.
Okay, so anyone else that who wants to ask question, we do still have quite some time because our slot is scheduled to end about in maybe in 30 more minutes. So if anyone has have any questions, just feel free and do not hesitate to ask.
Yeah,
right?
hey guys, apologies if I was like speeding through just now because like I thought I had 1 hour only. So
No, it's okay because I think even though the points are brought with the speed, but I think most of it can understand.
okay,
Because it's quite straight to the point.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah, we have another one here.
Oh, yeah, Tang, good question. Any companies that you recommend to join as a new tech graduate? I don't want to point companies because later if some companies that I don't pick, then they'll be like, hey, Derek, why didn't you pick me, right? I would say, again, I go back to the same point, do your own research, right? Understand what are the newest technologies today and yes, understand what are newer technologies and just understand their culture. I don't want to point any companies, but I mean, my company has a pretty good culture. I think in general, if a company can say things like, okay, have you guys heard of the Netflix culture? The Netflix culture, Google it, please Google it. The Netflix culture, I guess I can send you a link later, but just Google it if you see it. So my company runs on a Netflix culture where we say there's no rules, right? You want to look for a company like that. In Malaysia, there's very little, but you want to look for a company where they say there is no rules. You can literally do whatever you want as long as you get your job done. You can go for a holiday tomorrow on Monday if you want to apply for leave, can also, right? Might sound like a fairy tale to you guys, but it's happening right now in the tech world. In Malaysia, I only know a few companies like that. I think Stashaway is like that, but you guys will have to explore on your own, right? Okay. So next question, Jared. Well, literally just Google it. Remote tech jobs, just Google it. There's a lot of websites that will come out. One thing you want to look into as well is Web3 and blockchain companies. They're paying very crazy well. Look into Web3. There's a website called web3.careers or something like that. Go to LinkedIn, right? I'm not going to show you here, but it's a very simple LinkedIn search. Click on remote, everything is there, right? Go to Indeed, click on remote, everything is there. Or the best part, the best part, just go to LinkedIn and message someone there. That's it. Don't even apply, right? Because if you apply, everyone's applying. You need to do what will make you stand out. Message the hiring manager there. Go straight to the person who made the decision. So everyone's on LinkedIn, just try it. LinkedIn is a very good place. Yeah, okay, I hope that helped, Jared. So hi, Abby asked the question. Hi, Derek, how is the workload in tech? The industry seems very fast-paced and hard to keep up with. That's true. And also, I'm personally not very confident in my programming skills, so the expectant stress is very scary. Hey, Abby, I think that's a very common stress that you're facing here because most developers will face this thing called the imposter syndrome, right? Where you feel like you're not good enough. And I can assure you that everyone faces it, even I today, I face it as well. Everyone faces that. So what I can say is focus on coding fundamentals. I don't know if you've heard of websites like let me send it to you now, Lead Code, Hacker Rank, right? Spend a lot of time on these two websites and solve all the algorithm challenges. If you can solve the challenges, you are better than 90% of computer science graduates out there already. Okay, I can tell you how many people who graduated at uni but can't solve all these challenges. And yeah, I believe this, if you can solve this, you can learn anything. Right. And how's the workload in tech? Depending on the company, I would say for a venture-backed company, like I believe you saw the very nice Google Office and Grab Office and Carson's Office, right? For bigger, richer companies, the life is very good. Work-life balance is there, very, very, very good. But for smaller, early-stage startups, definitely you'll be squeezed a little bit more. But if you want to compare in general with other industries, like being an auditor, for example, I was an auditor. Right, if you want to compare to maybe being a medical doctor, for example, right, doctors have to be on call 24/7. You want to compare to a legal graduate, someone in law industry, right? Definitely, technology wins hands down because you work remotely and that's it. Yeah, so definitely workload is okay, not crazy bad. And also, I think one thing you want to learn is all of you who are still listening, you should, and you have to learn how to write, how to convey a message, how to communicate. One thing I know is employers don't hire just on tech skills. So it's very important to improve your ability to communicate, learn how to project manage, learn how to use GitHub, right? A lot of computer science students can't use GitHub. I don't know why, but learn how to use GitHub, learn all these more fundamentals kind of thing to work in a team, then definitely you'll be more desirable in the market.
Okay, so personally, I have another question that is I'm assuming it's Hui, right? If you want, you can go first.
Yeah, hi, I have a question here. Hi, Derek.
Hey.
I think this question is a bit like thinking far, lah, but yeah, I'll just ask straight away. It's about gender and like I'm a girl and like girls that are in tech, right? Because like tech is a fast-paced and like job, and if we're going to like getting married and then giving labor in our 30s like that, so it felt like it's a bit out of the competition when we're getting back. So I want to ask, in tech, right, is there any like gender this like how to say, like gender that is like not fair among like guy and girl?
Okay, hey, that's a very good question. I think in most companies, there's always, maybe gender disparity or racial kind of thing where, Asian people can go so high, or if you're non-Malay, you cannot go up there. There's always some form of things, some here and there happening, right? But I think in general, in the tech industry, the way I see it, if I'm a female, I know a lot of female coders, by the way, and one thing I tell you is demand and supply, right? In tech, in software, there's very little females. So if you're a female who's able to code, you stand out already. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing because like I mentioned, everywhere I go, I like to put myself in a place where I have a unique edge. So let's say when I was in UK, I was the only, I like to join places where I'm the only Malaysian person there. So anything that relates to Southeast Asia or Malaysia, I'm the go-to guy. Same for this concept as well. If you're a female in a tech company, usually, right, they're very welcoming. You can Google this thing. It's a movement. It's called Women in Tech. It's a global movement. Take a look at all the successful tech leaders and hear their stories. Right, I'm not a woman, so I can't really share my experience in terms of being a female in tech company, but I can tell you for a fact that women are treated pretty good in tech companies, yeah, compared to other industries, definitely.
All right, thank you, sir. Oh, thank you, Derek.
No problems.
Okay, then if there's, I think there are more questions coming up. So while we are waiting for that, then maybe I can shoot my question first. So it's actually branch out from what you answered just now, whether you want to work to learn or work to earn. So maybe some fresh grads that they are really keen to learn, which they sometimes they mislook that this internship or this job opportunity is actually they are underpaid or they are not paid at all for the internship. So what are your views on that? Like if you are really keen to work for learn, so what is the benchmark at least in tech for fresh grad? At least they are being equally compensated or at least they are being paid fairly for what they are doing. So what is the benchmark for all the undergraduates here? At least they can get to know the number so they won't be exploited by the
Good question,
employers.
Cole. I think I might have to give you an answer that you don't like. My answer is work for free if you have to. That's it. Because if you want to, let's say a job is paying you 500 ringgit and you don't take it, or a job is paying you 800 ringgit, you don't take it, or if a job is paying you 300 ringgit and you don't take it, what you're losing out is what you can put on your resume, right? Because you will know, one thing you will know is in my very first reach out, okay, for jobs or for projects, people always ask me about me, what did I study and all this kind of stuff, right? But the moment I had my first project in my portfolio, they all stop asking about universities and all that. They start asking you what did you do in your project. So just think about it. The first job is just the first job. And no one really cares about the first job. Everyone cares about how can the first job help you add value to your next role? How can you land a better role later, right? So if you compare yourself, I would say work for free for somewhere that you can learn, right? Your first role, I mean, think of it, you're still young and you don't need the money, right? Just learn for free, get something solid. Okay, if you're working for free and you're not learning anything, just leave the company straight away, right? I'm not gonna debate that, right? But if you're learning something in the software world and that makes you a better developer, work for free. Please work for free, right? I can tell you, self-taught people, I have a lot of students who are winning computer science people. Why? Because they worked for free. And this is the one thing I tell my students all the time: work for free. Don't have to be forever, right? 3 months, 6 months, work for free. Instantly, you get a full-time job after that. So yeah, hope that answers your question.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Derek, for that. And I think we have another question. Abby?
Hi, Mr. Derek. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So just now, yeah, thanks for answering my question just now. And yes, you've mentioned imposter syndrome, and I definitely feel it because honestly, I did not choose the course that I'm studying in, which is a related course in IT, which I'm not really interested in, but I've just been going through, and I've decided that I will how to say, just work my way through uni. Then after I graduate, then I will try to find my passion and I'm trying to tie in with what I'm studying now. And throughout my modules, right, I noticed I took innate interest into like digital marketing, and I saw that you're an expert, it seems, in digital marketing. Is there any like advice that you can give to me, or like how should I how to say, continue on from this like slight passion that I feel from what I'm studying now? Yeah.
Okay, I think Abby, that's a very good question, and I would say I'm the perfect guy to answer this because personally, I came from a background in finance, and I think you saw my list of skill sets, digital marketing, and I can tell you now, my digital marketing skills are probably at this point even more solid than my tech skills because launching Sigma School or launching all the products that I launched in the past, one thing that comes before software is marketing. You need to make sure that you have a demand for a product before you build something, right? So I spent 3, 4, 500K building a lot of software, but after building it, no one used it, right? So marketing is very important. And I can tell you this, I know people, a lot of people. I can share a story about my ex-girlfriend, right? My ex-girlfriend she did a degree in sociology. I did a degree in finance. So long story short, she was from Hong Kong, and we wanted to plan a career where we can both work remotely. So I introduced to her digital marketing, and I chose the path of technology. So long story short, she learned completely on her own, right? Maybe together with me back then. We learned together, and eventually now she's being a freelancer, just making very decent money in Hong Kong. I think 30, 40K ringgit per month, not a problem for her, right? So I would say don't care about what you studied in university. Don't let university hold you back, but it's more on whether you're able to add value to companies. I can tell you, if I can end my answer with one thing, it's Abby, how do you add value to the company or the person you're going to work with? Companies need money, okay? Companies need traffic. They want people signing up. They want people seeing their stuff. How can you, as a digital marketer, help them achieve that? If you can help them achieve that, you will get paid. And in fact, that's how I get paid right now for most of the projects I'm leading. I know a lot of people building stuff, spending 100K, 200K building a software, but they cannot get like traffic to it. So you need to learn up the skill sets to help them with it. And there's a lot of things you can learn. Just Google it, right? Just Google it. And the beauty about digital marketing and combining with software is you get to combine the best of both worlds. So you will win every other digital marketing out there because you know code. If you don't know how to code and you're in the world of digital marketing, right, you will be capped. So knowing technology helps you become a way better digital marketer. That's what I can say.
Right. Thanks, Mr. Derek. Oh, also, is there like any like in-demand skills that are in digital marketing that
Definitely.
maybe you should know?
Definitely. I think you can look. Okay, so today there's a lot of people who are good at using ads, right? Facebook ads, Google ads, just clicking a few buttons here and there. But if I can say, it's the ability to growth hack. This is not easy to learn. Okay, I can send it to you. Growth hack. Growth hackers get paid very, very good. Okay. Growth hacking is how can you grow traffic in weird, unconventional ways, like referrals. You can just do a Google and you can see a lot of stories about how startups do it. So if you are able to unlock the skills of growth hacking, you will be invaluable to any company. But again, I have to let you know it's not easier. This comes with experience. So yeah, so I think I'll leave you at that. Yeah. And one more thing I'll leave you with is if you combine digital marketing with blockchain, digital marketing with Web3, you're going to get a lot of global jobs. Okay, so I'll leave you at that. And okay, so I'll move on to the next one by Ong Wei Ming. Hi, Derek. May I ask that if I am I'm a slow-witted in learning coding, is it means that I am not suitable for this field? Okay, that's a good question. As I said just now, everyone can code. Yeah, believe if you can ride a bicycle, you can code, right? Okay, fine. Some people maybe I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but it's called the universal basic education, right? Some people really, maybe because they lack of malnutrition or they are from a very poor background and they don't have basic, like way of thinking. But I believe you guys have it because you guys, obviously you guys are here. You guys have it, right? So if for most people with normal IQ, you will be able to do it. It's just a matter of time. Is it 1 year? Is it 3 months? Is it 6 months? It's just a matter of time. I myself, okay, FYI, I think I didn't share my story because I was skipping through just now. But in the past, I was that guy in the computer class where I'm always the last to leave. And I always need my friend to help me. So my understanding in programming or in computers are the absolute worst. And when I was learning with a few of my friends back in the days, I was almost always the last guy to pick things up. So if I can do it, I believe you can too. And if my students who are refugees or B40 guys, if they can do it, you can do it as well. So there's no such thing as cannot do it. It's just a matter of time. Do you do it in 6 months or 1 year or whatever, right? So I think if you are able to put in 8 hours a day, definitely you can do it. You can get a job or monetize in around 6 to 9 months. Okay. Or maybe 1 year if you're doing alone, but if you have mentorship and all that, definitely 6 months possible.
Okay, so thank you, Derek, and also thank you, Wei Ming, for the question. So I guess to wrap up this Q&A session, I would like to ask like one more last personal question that I have. So yeah, so okay, so just want to ask you, Derek, like let me rephrase. How do you deal with when situations like when you when you are reaching to a bottleneck, as in like when you do your coding, when you run your company and things like that? Because for me now personally, I think a lot of my batchmates also, we are reaching towards one bottleneck direction where we just can't code. Like we cannot just sit down, we have a lot of things to deal with, and we have reached a bottleneck, at least for me, that I don't know how to, move forward from this very stagnant situation. So I want to ask you from your perspective, like when you were in uni back then, or whether you are working now, how do you deal with bottleneck situations?
Wait, bottleneck in terms of what? Time or what?
Time, effort, your mental, and everything. It just don't feel like you have the momentum to do things anymore?
Wow, I think so. I want you guys to look up this thing called passive learning versus active learning. Our brain works in two states. We have active state and passive state, right? Do just Google it. I'm not gonna type it up, but Google it, active state versus passive state. Our brains, okay. You don't want. Okay, I'll just wrap it at this, right? You know how to lift weights, right? Go to the gym. You're not doing it, right? Why are you not buff yet? I don't know if you're buff, but why isn't the whole world buff? Why are there still fat people in the world? It's because you don't have accountability and you don't have consistency, right? And you don't take breaks. So if you go to the gym 24 hours a day, will you become the next muscle mania? No, you won't, right? You need to go to the gym 1 hour every day for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years to see results, correct? So I think I will boil this back to the concept of atomic habits. It's a very good book. If you guys know, take a look at it. A lot of my friends in the world of software will recommend this book, Atomic Habits, right? It's about how you can implement small changes to your life and become 1% better every single day. If you learn one new thing every day, after 1 year, you learn 365 new things, right? So in terms of being too busy, just think of it this way. Elon Musk is able to handle, 3, 4, 5 multi-billion companies. Why can't you do, a uni degree and something else? That's that, right? Or you ask yourself, if you feel like you're too busy for something, ask yourself, can I spend just 1 hour on it every day? You can spend 1 hour on anything, right? So I think that's it. I'll wrap it at that. Just atomic habits and make sure to be consistent.
Okay, yeah, I think that wrapped up pretty well. And yes, thank you once again, Mr. Derek, for your insights and also your advices for everyone that has shoot their question today. And also to remember today, I would like to request everyone to turn on your cameras because now we just want to have a group picture together. And for the participants, you may get the background downloaded via the link that our committee has already sent in the chat box. So you can change the background, change the virtual background to our career discovery series background so that we can have a more, we can have a better picture. So while the technical team is getting ready for the screenshot, all participants are not required, but you are encouraged, to turn on your cameras so that we can have a few screenshots.
Yes. Please on your cameras. Thanks.
Yeah. Even you don't have the virtual background, it's totally fine. Just maybe you can just turn on your camera and be part of this series together with us.
And again, thanks everyone for joining in. Hope I added some value to your life, and I hope you guys continue learning and continue hustling and never give up.
Okay, so yeah, while waiting for the rest of the participants to get their camera ready, I just want to cross-check if the technical team is ready. Okay, the technical team is ready, so we'll give maybe another 10 to 30 more seconds for our participants to get the camera turned on. Okay. I think I can see the first slide is full now. So whoever has already have their camera turned on, you can bring out your best pose and the technical team will just screen snap. So on my count in 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's move on to the second slide because you are not sure, we don't know whether you are in the second slide or the third slide or the first slide. So just keep your pose, keep your best pose, and we will take another screenshot in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so, and then yes, take one last photo. Technical team in 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Okay, technical team, is it done? Already, it's done. So, okay, thank you all participants for turning on your camera with us today. And of course, sadly, we have reached the end of our session. And once again, I would like to thank Mr. Derek Yee for his time and also effort to share his wisdom, experiences, and advice with all of us today. And personally, I felt really enlightened by his talk, and I hope that our participants find today's session worth writing home about. So, and also I have to remind once again our participants to take your attendance through the link that is already sent in the chat box before you leave. And to those who have done so, you are welcome to leave. As we will return to the next session for the Career Discovery 2022 on the 27th of May, which falls on the Friday, with Miss Eileen Lee on the topic data transformation. So stay tuned for that, and thank you everyone, and have a good weekend.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for having me. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.
Okay, I removed the participant. Might as well.
Okay.
Okay, so wait, are
Yeah.
you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Nice.
Is everyone else here? Why Nick and Minor go out already? Are they? Wei Ming also went out already.
Ask them to join back. Oh,
Yeah. Why my mic got wind sound just
Yeah,
now?
but like. Like that.